Good morning, everyone. Morning. All right, we just got word from Paul that Sonia's mom, she just passed. So everybody, just if you would, just keep them in your prayers, especially Sonia. Like he said last week, that's her best friend, and it's going to hit her more than probably others. But yeah, definitely keep them in your prayers. Any other prayers that we need to mention? I know we had the prayer list that's sent out every week. I think going through here, Mama Jean, Papa Jean, Kathy Smith. I don't know what the latest is on her.
She's going to go for another kids and I knew it was soon, but she's very weak.
Okay.
I kind of have to hold arm when she's walking.
Then Pat Griffith, you said he's about to finish up his radiation.
Yeah, he's near his radiation. He'll be doing chemo.
Okay.
He's doing still able to work.
Good. Then Barney Vaughn, which is Jason's uncle. And then you have Jason Mashburn, Michael Stonecker. Is he doing okay?
He seems to be maybe a little stronger.
Okay, good.
They're all good there.
Jake Wissenat. Then we have Lucas, who'll be having surgery coming up. So keep all those in your prayer. So today we're going with Paul being out. We'll do some singing, and Rooney's going to come and tell about his mission trip to Missouri with Samaritan Purse. So we'll have that today, and I guess we'll start out with some singing. Oh yeah, take up offering. Yeah.
I guess everybody knows we canceled the yard sale. They get a lot of rain, so we'll maybe try again next weekend. So we'll just send out a message every Wednesday, Thursday. We'll just keep trying till we have one.
Is there any reason why anybody got something going on next weekend?
I know there's one over at Whitesboro next weekend, so it might be that they could do, if you have one down in this community, one over there, they can put one out.
Brother Bobby.
The food pantry.
Yeah.
Brandon told me a couple of weeks ago that they had need for food. And we've kind of slacked off here the last few weeks. And, when you go buy groceries, pick up 2 or 3 extra cans, and put them in the container downstairs, and I'll carry them up once a month. So just keep that.
I guess we put it back here if anybody
Yeah, back
don't
there.
know.
Yeah. Back here under the table, either way. I'll get them and carry them up.
Remember Brenda and Roger too.
Yeah. Brother Bobby, will you lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we just praise you and thank you for having an opportunity to be together today. Lord, we just pray for Paul and his family and just be with them and comfort them, Lord. We pray for all the prayer needs. Just let them up to you. And Lord, just pray for the whole church family that we just do your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Page 84. Just a little talk with Jesus. think Timothy's preaching somewhere today, so that's where they are. I once was lost and sin, but Jesus took me in and did a little life from heaven to my soul. It made my heart in love and wrote my name above, and just a little talk with Jesus made me whole. Have a little talk with Jesus, tell him all about our troubles. Hear our faintest cry, answer by and by. Feel a little prayer will turning, know a little fire is burning. Find a little talk with Jesus, fix it right. I may have doubts and fears, my eyes be filled with tears, but Jesus is right there watches day and night. I go to him in prayer, he knows my every care, and just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Have a little talk with Jesus, tell him all about our troubles, hear our faintest cry, answer by and by. Feel a little prayer will turning, know a little fire is burning. Find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. All right, let's sing 212. Number 212. Me and Cheryl was talking yesterday about how beautiful heaven must be. We're talking about, flowers and gardening, and that's something we enjoy. And how we won't have to work the flowers, we can just tend to them. I hope. We read about beautiful heaven, prepared for the pure and the free. These truths in God's word He has given. How beautiful heaven must be! How beautiful heaven must be! Sweet home of the happy and free, where haven of rest for the weary. How beautiful heaven must be! The angels so sweetly are singing, up there by the beautiful sea. Sweet hearts with their gold harps are beating. How beautiful heaven must be! How beautiful heaven must be! Sweet home of the happy and free, where haven of rest for the weary. How beautiful heaven must be! We probably haven't sang that in 18 years. Okay, let's switch books to our celebration and hymnal and sing number 762, What a Day That Will Be. We may not even need a book for this one, but I better have one. Just in case. 762, What a Day That Will Be. What a day that'll be when no heartache shall come, no more clouds in the sky, no more tears. There is coming a day when no heartache shall come, no more clouds in the sky, no more tears to be found. All is peace forevermore, no more happy. The sun Yes, it's raining this time. Is it raining?
Yes.
Come on up here. I'm sorry. Got me shut up.
Bernie, if you're ready, if you would come and tell us about your trip to Missouri, your mission trip.
I'm ready out on the computer here tonight.
Okay.
I had a really nice PowerPoint presentation prepared, and when you come over here and you try to put it in that this first picture here is kind of confusing. That's water. Y'all know when we left 2 Sundays ago, we had a storm come through here, but that storm was there the night before. It dumped 7 inches of water on the people there. This was probably 20 miles before we got there, and we had to be for about 30 miles before we could get into the storm. These next 2 pictures here are farming and I'll read the field. The water was just barely below the road level when we were there, and it was like, if the road was a little lower some other place, that's where my little field was. 7 inches of water in about 12 hours is a lot of water. And it's our understanding that some of the farmers had already had their crops planted, so all that's gonna be lost. This is the First Baptist Church of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. This was our host church that put us up and took care of us. This is the dining hall, very nice church, very large church, but they were really good about taking care of us, and the facilities were just, boy, you couldn't ask for anything better. Now, Samaritan's Purse, if you don't know anything about them, I would recommend that you study up on them, because that is a A1 top-notch organization. I mean, there's some really good people. You can see how they took care of us there. That was our snack table for us volunteers. Each morning they had breakfast cooked for us. At 6 o'clock in the morning, they'd put out a sandwich table. We'd go around and prepare our lunch to carry with us. This was our snacks that we could pick from, any or all, whatever you wanted there, you could get it. You know, they just go out of their way to take care of us. Of course, it's the ladies of the church prepared desserts for us each meal. There was always a big dessert table there. Really good people. A lot of work went into it. Samaritan's Purse has a cook that's employed that comes and organizes all this. So, and the meals were just you couldn't ask for anything better. Even if you had to pay for it, it wouldn't have been better. This was our sleeping quarters. We got the kindergarten, first grade room, so we had plenty of crayons and coloring books to play with. But we all brought our beds, and this is how we organized. And it, like I said, it's a really nice place. Whoop, let's go back. Now those trucks right there was a total of 8 trucks. Each truck had anywhere from 10 to 12 volunteers on it. So that's how many people was there at that church. And that's just the volunteers that come in with us. Now there were still some others that were already there, so, and some other trucks and stuff. So All this is furnished by Samaritan's Purse. That's a lot of equipment there on the ground. I didn't take pictures of them, but they also had skid steer loaders with brush guards on the front or brush pickers on the front. They had cherry pickers. They had a lift there, you know, if you need to get up in there to cut anything. And these trucks that you see right here are fully furnished with everything that you need to clear debris, cut trees, whatever. It's on that truck right there, and each truck is equipped the same way. They furnish us water, everything that we need to go out on the job. So, like I said, it's a top-notch organization. They're really good people to work for. Now, before I go further, I'm going to tell you that Sardis Baptist Church is trying to get, and we've already got it, we've achieved it, we're going to get one of these trucks, and it's going to be stationed at Sardis. And it can be for community use if we ever have a need. So we'll have that truck at our disposal. I'm going to be one of the drivers of it, so I know I can get it when I want to. So, but we've just been approved for that. Brother Mike's going up next weekend and do the paperwork and everything. And then when we get back from our mission trip to the Amazon, we're going to go pick the truck up. So we'll have it here. And if any of you want to join in on the volunteer list, there's a group of us at Sardis, and we have a list now. I think there's already about 12 or 15 names on that list, but we can add to it. And if you want to just be a volunteer for Samaritan's Purse, you can go to their website and volunteer by yourself. You know, you don't have to be with a group. You can do it individually. So remember that. It's a good thing. Yeah, that's just us. We meet in the mornings after breakfast. We'll meet at the trucks, and we have prayer. We all find out. We get the addresses of where we're going. That fellow right there on the left was our leader. That's Bob. He was from Georgia. He's a volunteer also. A great guy. I call him Bob the Builder, but he liked to cut up with us, and we did have some fun while we were there. So this is the maintenance trailer. It's of course you see Samaritan's Purse symbol on it. It is a top-notch, anything that you ever need as far as tools or work on any of the equipment that's in that trailer right there. That's the inside of it. Can you believe that's a maintenance trailer? It looks more like a surgery room or something, but like I said, this is a top-notch organization. They have really good equipment. We had a shower trailer there on the property where we could take showers that looked as clean as this. They were just immaculate. Had 6 showers in it, so we didn't have to wait. This is our team. We had 5 people come from this area, from Sardis Boaz area. We had 2 from Georgia. We had 1 from New Jersey, 1 from New York, 1 from Arizona, 1 from Washington State. So if you look at it on the map, and you put Missouri in the middle, you'll see all these coming together in one place. That's just our team. You know, there's, like I said, there was 10 more or 8 more teams or 7 more teams with that many people on it from all over the United States. We had people from Louisiana. We had them in our room from Ohio. It's just everywhere. People that volunteered to come in. And a lot of these people, they were packing up when we were leaving here, was going to another location that was in need. So a lot of these guys, they spend a lot of time volunteering. So. Now then, when we left the property, this is not the sign, but it's a sign that says the same thing. When you're leaving the parking lot of that church, they have a sign that says this right here: you are now entering the mission field. The mission field wasn't in the church. The mission field is not here. The mission field's out there. And we've seen that sign every day. That really struck me as it kind of got to my heart, because the church is just a place for us to go and prepare. There's your work. Go out into the field. like I said, that church took care of us. They had whatever facility we needed. They had a full gymnasium we had access to if we wanted to use it, but all of us were so tired we couldn't couldn't do anything like that. But the church is just a place to go to take nourishment, to prepare, to rest. The work was out there in the field, so y'all remember that. This is the type of stuff that we encountered. This was, I think this was our first day, maybe the second job that we went to. I think there was 3 big trees about that size blowed down in this lady's yard. And we did cut them up, pile them up, clean them up. So that's the kind of work that mostly we done. You can see there, I was on the roof because she had some roof patching to do, and I took that picture from the roof of her house. So you can see how big that tree was. And that's, like I said, that's just one of them that we cut up. So. This guy here, he is not a part of Samaritan's Purse, but he travels with them. He has his own ministry. I don't know exactly what his ministry name is. It's him and his wife, and he's got 2 sons. They're homeschooled, but they live in a camper, and they go from job to job. He has people that supports him. That's his equipment right there, and he is a artist with a chainsaw. He can do whatever you can do with a chainsaw. That tree was a little bit big for us the main trunk of it, to cut and get out of the way, so he brought his little piece of equipment over there to help us out on that. But he was a really good guy. He had a chainsaw over there that had about a 4-foot bar on it, so he handled it like it wasn't anything. So. Jack, I swear this thing's not working. Okay, this property was next door. We did do it, but it didn't take us long to clean up on the back side of it. This property was next door to where we were at right there. But if you look in that window right there, you'll see a trunk of a tree that's still in the house. The house is going to be demolished, so we just left that in there. Let somebody else deal with it. But there wasn't enough of the house left to try to save. So. Okay, this next one is, this is probably the worst one we went to. This house was completely destroyed. This little couple here, that's Ernest and Ronna, is their name. Ernest was a Vietnam veteran, and they were in that house when it was destroyed. They were buried in that rubble you see behind them back there. Some of the neighbors come and dug them out after the storm went over. But they were a very sweet couple. We spent better part of the day there helping them go through the debris and try to find what little keepsakes that they could find. She asked that she wanted a picture that she had of Jesus, and she lost it, but we never did find it. We never did find the roof of the house. It was gone somewhere. So. I did find a picture that Ernest had there of him receiving a Golden Boy Henry rifle. And I asked him, I give him the picture, and I said, now if I find this rifle, can I have it? And he kind of grinned and said, yeah. But then the next day we went back, actually 2 days later we went back, and I was talking to him. I said, you knew where that rifle was all the time, didn't you? And he said, yeah. So he was a good guy. We went back the last time. He had a little building in the back there, and we finally got access to it after the machines got there and moved some stuff around. And we dug through his little shed back there and got his tools and stuff out that he could still use. So, but that's a very sweet couple. They had a brand new truck that was in that carport right there where they're standing, and it was destroyed. So, but a lot of these pictures are just mostly of their house and the surrounding area. But can you imagine being in a house like that and being left with that stuff up on top of you in the middle of the night when it's dark? And right there in that little hallway area is where they were, and they were covered up with debris when they were found, so. This is all just areas right in and around that one little community right there. They were hit really hard. If you notice the trees, most of the foliage is stripped off the trees. It's like they've been pruned back, don't it? Jack, my clicker's quit working. There it comes. Ah. What'd we do back there, Jack? Something happened.
What's the average age of the people that fall there?
67.
Men and
Mm-hmm. We had 3 women on our team, and they worked just as hard, if not harder, than we did. So,
not necessarily chopping or sawing. maybe
now,
picking.
well, one of them run a chainsaw one day. She wanted to run a chainsaw, but we let her run the chainsaw. But they done mostly the dragging the limbs and stuff like that's necessary. And like I said, they worked hard. One lady was from Georgia. She was a retired U.S. Marshal. So, you know, she'd been around. She knowed some stuff. So, yeah. I told her I didn't know that till about midway through the week, and I told her, I said, if I'd known that, I'd been nicer to you this whole time. She was a hard worker, and her friend was from Washington. They were from opposite ends of the nations, but they had met. They actually done a Samaritan's Purse volunteer in California after the fires, and they met there and became friends, and they flew into Missouri together, or met at the airport, and then drove into the Poplar Bluff. So they were a fun couple. They worked hard. Well, we all worked hard, but when we got in at night, we all had fun. So I laughed till I cried one night, but you know. There we back in. That's the start of it, Jack.
I don't know where you were, man.
I was way further than that. Maybe we can get back. We was almost done, but we would average going to at least 3 houses a day, 3 properties, and working. And they believed in working you 8 hours at least. So, the last job that we went to on Friday evening, it was we worked till nearly dark because it was the last night. Well, there was one I wanted to talk about. There. This was at the little couple's house that was destroyed. It was a cedar tree that we had to cut up and move. And Bob I had the chainsaw that day, and Bob come and said, cut me off some slabs of that about 2 inches. So I went to cutting off slabs of that trunk, and he said, I'm going to give everybody one. Everybody's going to get one. So, and one of the guys, he started cutting crosses in the slabs, but that's on the stump there. And one of the guys that was with us, Larry Crutchfield from Sardis, he had a chainsaw. He said, I won't try that. So he went over and tried it on that stump. Well, I sent that picture to Sheila that night, and she had a fit over it. So I told Larry, I said, my wife really liked that stump carving that she done. They said, and then actually we went back the next day. That was the day we went back over there, and we found that stump in the brush pile, and he cut that slab off of it, and I've got it at the house. So just a little chainsaw art, I guess you might call it. But everybody got got a cedar slab. This was one of the jobs that we went to. We did a lot of little small jobs like this, where just some siding was blown off, but it was exposed to the elements and all. So we kind of fixed it where water wouldn't intrude in the house. Done a little roof repair. This one is an old house now. The way that system works is Samaritan Purse sets up and then people come in and ask for assistance. And then they'll send out people to assess what works need to be done, and they'll make a report. This house, there wasn't any storm damage on that house. I mean, it was, what you see there is old stuff. The tarp had been on there for months probably. But they come and ask for assistance. And Samaritan's Purse they went ahead and sent us out. And the reason why they send you out is because you carry the gospel with you. Before we start work, we have a meeting with the owners. We have prayer. We explain to them what the Samaritan's Purse is. And we ask them about their salvation. And Bob the builder, he wasn't bashful about asking. I mean, he how's you say, do you know the Lord, This couple here was a gay couple. And there was a young girl there that was mentally challenged, I guess you might say. And that's the reason why they sent us out to that house. We done what we could, patched a few things, but the main reason we went to this house was to share the gospel. Now, when we'd go out on a job, they have the Billy Graham crusade people, Billy Graham Ministry, I believe it's called. They have chaplains that they send out with us, and they're a separate organization that's linked to Samaritan's Purse. But they'll send out 2 chaplains, and most of the time they got there before we left, and they would share the gospel with these people, and then they follow up with them. So it's a well-organized thing, and we went to about 3 different jobs like this right here where they didn't really have storm damage. They just had, they asked for help. The rule was if you had a tree that was within 150 foot of your house, we'd clean it up for you and did it up. And we cleaned up and cut down trees that was 300 foot away from houses just because people wanted it done. But they got the gospel shared with them. And also at the end of the job, when we got done, we'd meet back with the owners, and during the job, we had a Bible that we would all sign and put a little message in. And the Bible was presented to the people. Now, the Bible is a Billy Graham study Bible that you can buy on the internet, but you can't buy that Bible because it has this patch on it, the Samaritan's Purse. And it's a special Bible, and it's a really good Bible. And if you look on eBay, you can find something for sale. People don't want them, but you can buy them off of eBay. But they're not sold publicly. It's just people that doesn't want the Bible. So, I think this was going to the last job that we did on Friday, going into a little area here that was kind of a poor area, but it was well destroyed. You can see that tree, that ladder there was wrapped around a tree at some time or another. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, this is kind of the end of it, is at the church there, they ask us to take our boots off when we come in the front there to keep from tracking mud and stuff through the church. And I had a Bible verse on my presentation, but it's not on this. But it's the Bible verse that says, how beautiful are the feet of the people that carries the gospel. And that's basically what it is. That wasn't real beautiful. That was mud. That was a lot of debris and stuff and that we waded through in houses was on our shoes and our boots right there. So mission work is not clean, and it's not easy. It's hard work, and you get dirty and you get tired. I know Thursday night I think I was just about past going. when I got in Thursday night. But of course, you get refreshed and you get up in the morning and you go again. So, but Thursday was a real hard day for me. We had a 67-year-old on our team that outworked me, so it didn't seem to bother him. So, but I would recommend if you ever have an opportunity to serve with Samaritan's Purse to take them up on it. Doesn't cost you anything. They don't ask a dime from us. They, like I said, they'll put you up, they'll feed you good, they give you a couple of shirts, and they'll wash them for you every night. You turn your shirts in, they'll wash them, have them ready for you next day. So they're a good organization. A lot of people's lives was touched in Poplar Bluff. One day that we, just to be honest with you, the house was so nasty and the area that we were in was so nasty, we didn't want to eat lunch there. So we packed up and went to a truck stop and pulled up in a truck stop and ate lunch. And there was at least 2 or 3 people seen us there and would come around and thank us for what we were doing, because they had seen those trucks all over the community there, you know. Even when we would go out, we'd see one of our trucks going the other way or something. So they make a big presence there, and they do a wonderful work. If you ever have a chance to do it, join in with them. They're good people. I think I'm done, Jack.
Maybe can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
The people that lost everything, where did they live at?
There was a little townhouse village there next to them, and the owner of that had already started preparing them a place to move into. So, one of the neighbors had already offered to buy the property that where his house was. Now, I guess they had insurance. I don't know. I know their truck was insured because they got them a new truck while we were there. So, but they seemed like they were okay. It seemed like they were okay. There was a lot of people, a lot of emotions going around in that town right there, because there's a lot of destructions. We visited. I wish I'd have kept count of the different jobs that we went to, but like I said, we would go to at least 3 jobs a day, and we may be there an hour, we may be there 3 hours. So, any other questions?
What did they do with all that debris? Did they haul it away or did they pile it up?
We were moving it to the road where the I guess FEMA or somebody comes in and picks it up. Yeah. Actually, Samaritan's Purse, and they keep up. We had to sign a timesheet every day, and we would sign our name in 8 hours. And somehow or another, the 8 hours they paid us, they would pay not us, but they got that amount of money that went back to the community from, I guess, FEMA. I'm not sure how all that worked. I didn't get none of the money, but your work is paying for the community to receive aid. So, and I never did get a report on how many thousands of dollars that would go back into that community because of the time that we volunteered. So.
Federal people, like FEMA people or any of us?
Did not. It was sad. We didn't see any of that. But hopefully they were on the way. I don't know. There was a lot of debris piled up on the roads. I know that. So somebody's going to have to move that eventually. So.
Another thing, you can make donations to
Yes.
organizations for this activity.
You can go to the Samaritan's Purse website, and you can sign up for volunteer. You can make donations, and you can read all about what they're doing. We actually have we're tentatively right now working on going on a trip to North Carolina on a rebuild. We're going to rebuild one of the houses, or build a house up there for them. And Samaritan's Purse is going to pay for the house. So we've signed up. I think it's in August. Is that when Larry said was looking at August? Yeah. So that trip is still kind of in the making right now, but we hope to be able to do that.
Did you drive to Missouri or did you
We rode them, you had to furnish your own transportation to get there and your transportation to the jobs. We went in one of Sardis's church vans, so, which worked out really good for us. We could all travel together and we were all on the same team, so that we got to go to the jobs together and we could carry our backpacks and stuff in the.
You gotta be prepared to get from job to job.
Yeah, yeah. They'll usually have one volunteer riding in the DRV, they call them DRVs, disaster relief vehicle. They'll have one volunteer riding with the driver in it, but the rest, everybody else has to get their own way there. Which is not, it's not that big a deal.
Remember, Brother Mike had said that y'all would be able to use their church bus or van to travel as a group.
Yeah. Sardis has been real gracious about letting us travel. And most of the members are the people that's on the team is from Sardis, but they have, of course, a couple of vans, and they got a bus, but the bus really wouldn't be practical to drive it because of going into areas that we went into. It'd be hard to get them in and out, but the DRV that's going to be stationed there, Sardis is going to be they call them a lighthouse church, which is what Poplar Bluff was. So if we have a disaster in this area, they'll be stationed at Sardis. They have enough facilities to handle the needs of the volunteers that's coming in. So I think it's a good thing to get that asset here in our area. If we have a problem in this area, I mean, you don't have to. Samaritan's Purse doesn't have to be involved in it. If we have something local here that's small, we can use that vehicle for recovery on it. So.
You see them, all over the world.
Yeah, it's worldwide. It's not just in the United States.
It's amazing to me, I know it's the Lord, how they can do all that. It's gotta be done on donations.
It's all donations. Every bit of it's donations.
God's people come together and, it'll move you hard.
Yeah, I was amazed just at the equipment that was on that job there, how much money would have been invested in just the equipment there. So, and that, of course, that spotless maintenance trailer really got my attention. I couldn't believe that. But you come in every,
Tell about Wednesday night, you told us about the person on there that did the repair.
yeah, they have volunteers that you come in every night and turn your chainsaws in, they sharpen them, make sure everything's working. And one of the guy that I was telling had his own ministry, his son is like 13 years old, and he works in that maintenance trailer at night. And they say he's as good with a chainsaw, fixing anything on a chainsaw as anybody. So that young man's got a future. But it's really amazing to see what can be done when you work together with people. And like I said, Samaritan Purse goes out of their way to make sure you have what you need to accomplish whatever they put before you.
It's one organization you can be sure you want to give money to, it's going to be used wisely and not, I don't know that they've ever had any questionable things come up about their financial situation.
It's really good. Hope we don't ever have to have them here.
I hope we don't need them.
But it's good to know that we'll have them if we need them. So y'all remember us as we go out. This is not going to be my only trip with them. I'm going out. So we already had a lot of things on our schedule for this summer, and also we couldn't really schedule anything else. And it's not easy to get in. I mean, you have to apply for the time slot, and the availability is kind of tricky. The only reason why we got in on this trip here is Larry at the one that's kind of heading us up he said he stayed on his computer every 30 minutes. He would go to his computer and see if anything opened up that was available. And this one finally opened up, and he didn't even ask all of us. He just went ahead and said, "We're coming." And then he contacted us and said, "Okay, I got one go." So, and that's basically how he got in on the August trip. Right now, we're planning on going to in August, because they were already booked through July when we started looking at it, so.
Well, what the Missouri area hit about 3 times during that, 3-week period.
They had, yeah, it wasn't tornadoes, but they did have some storms. They had the rainstorm there about a week after the tornado. Selmer, Tennessee got hit like 2 or 3 days before we went up there, and that's not too far from where we were at. We seen some of the destruction going up and coming home from Selmer, and Samaritan's Purse had already set up camp in Selmer, Tennessee. So, and like I said, there's a lot of volunteers there that was with us that were packing up and going straight to Selmer. They wasn't even going home. So. Anything else?
When do you like going to Amazon?
I'm sorry.
When are you going to Amazon?
24th
24th
of May. We are working, Sheila and I we worked this whole week up at the old Amazon thrift store. We're making part of that building is going to be the mission room. And we're making an area up there to store our mission supplies. So we'll have a place to put stuff. Our house we got 1 bedroom that's about covered up. So we're hoping to be able to move some of that stuff up there and store what we need to up there. It'll be nice. It'll be all in one place, and we'll have a place that we can go up there and meet and do some planning and whatever. So a lot of stuff out there, just local people that you can do. You know, I know Cheryl. She was up at Amazon about every day this week volunteering. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And all of it is necessary, and all of it is, you know, ain't no big and little. It's all help, and it's all doing what you're supposed to do. It's called serving is actually what it's called. I know Mark come up and helped me yesterday some. He just happened to come by and see me out there working, and he stopped in and helped me the rest of the day. So, and we talked about that. It's just serving is all it is, and that's what God's called us to do: serve. Get your feet dirty, people. That's what it's all about.
Anybody wants to, had some people already help give me some money to help Brandon and Sheila on their trip to Amazon. If you want to help them, that's not paid for, they have to pay for it.
Yeah, the Amazon trip is not free like the Samaritan's Purse. That's the beauty of the Samaritan's Purse. It doesn't cost you anything except, you know, your travel time and stuff. So that really amazed me when I signed up for it. I was expecting to have to pay some, but
Got a lot of good food out of it, though,
I did. I think I gained weight.
you look a little heavy.
Yeah, the 76 that we had fried chicken one night. I'm not a big fan of fried chicken, but John that was with us is 76 years old, and they had some big old chicken breast, you know. And he come back with his plate, had 2 of them things on his plate, and he eat them, went back and got 2 more. But that man, he could hide some food. Anything else? Well, I'm sorry y'all had to come into this today, but Paul kind of scrambling this morning. I was the last one on the list that he could get. So. He couldn't get anybody else, so he asked me to do this. Nah.
Couldn't work out any better.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea where some of this money will be?
Anybody know?
I'm sure we'll find out today sometime. We'll contact Paul and make sure we get the information. I'm sure he'll let us know as soon as they find out anything.
One thing, Angie asked me to take up money for the Boston shirts, so the footboard's there on the table. You know what size, it's $8 up to extra large, and then 2 to 3 is $10.
So
You
when
get
it-
money to me, or Angie had more.
Need to sign up and get your shirts, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
sign up, get a box for the shirt.
will do.
You need to sign them up quick. Yeah, come on.
Like you need it like yesterday?
Order in.
All right, everybody sign up before you leave today. Anything else? Frank, will you dismiss us?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing before we go about that. I was thinking, you know, we see our Congress and all the political boys they do. You know, it'd be nice